What is up, my fellow otakus? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I've been gone for 3 months and I'm so sorry. Just life's been going on and I was ill for quite a while and I'm currently recovering, so bear with me, videos will be coming out soon. Now, today's video is a new kind of video. I tried drawing digitally for the first time, so please be nice to me in the comments below. I thought I'd be talking about something that's quite dear to me. I've watched Jacksepticeye's most recent video about his mental health, and it hit me quite literally to the point where I was sobbing. And yeah, in my most recent absence, this video is a contribution as to why I've been away. Again, trigger warning, this is going to go into mental health, so if this is a triggering, please do not watch. Be safe, be happy. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the video. So, I'm autistic. I was diagnosed at the start of this year. I had a wonderful psychiatrist, she was absolutely lovely, and yeah, I struggle with everyday tasks, whether that's regulating my emotions, balancing work life, relationships, home stuff. I struggle with that a lot. If anything goes wrong, whether I don't feel like I'm good enough, that will impact all of those things for me, and I'll just not think I'm good enough at anything, and I will struggle with listening to basic instructions or thinking for myself or things like that, if that makes sense. Being able to find a balance with everything is very difficult, and yeah. My brain goes into overdrive, and basically sometimes I will freeze up, or I'll get really distressed, even if it's over little things, whether that's like the other day for me, my kitchen wasn't as clean as it could be and I freaked out. But no, it's over very little things and it will ruin my whole day. With the example, I'm very germophobic. I struggle with germs. I struggle with anything being in a mess, and that definitely affects my well-being. I also struggle with making eye contact, or I make too much eye contact. This could be because I've disassociated halfway through a conversation. Or it could be that I'm really hyperfixated on your conversation. It's never in the middle. It's either one or the other for me, which is a little bit annoying. I'm definitely annoying for people around me. Some people have told me they find it very unnerving when I'm hyperfixated on their conversation, because apparently I don't blink, so that's fun. Another thing I struggle with my autism is keeping relationships, friends relationships, just struggling with letting go. For me, if a friend moves away, it feels like the end of the world to me, even though it's not. We can still talk, we can still meet up. I rely on a lot of social contact. And it's because of this, a lot of people will come up to me and say, oh, you don't look autistic, you don't seem autistic, because the stereotype of autism is you're not very sociable, you're quite introverted, which I'd kind of say I'm a mixture of both at times, and you're insanely smart is the big stereotype, which isn't the case. Autism is a spectrum. That means that everyone with autism is not the same as each other. You could have some similarities, but you're not the same. You're not the same as each other. When I had my therapy, I got told that I was emotionally intelligent form of autism, which means I'm very in touch with my emotions. I know how I'm feeling at a certain point. Most of the time I know why I'm feeling it. It's just I don't understand why I've necessarily responded as extreme as I have. Or sometimes I won't get why someone else isn't reacting the same way as I am, which is very difficult for both me and for other people who have to deal with me on a regular basis. The other thing I struggle with is ignoring nasty comments, or even if it's like constructive criticism, I definitely struggle with taking it, and then I think that I'm not good enough, and I think horrible words about myself when actually none of those are true, and I'm actually okay. I'm a good person, even though I don't always know that most of the time. Or if someone else is having a bad day and I'm talking to them and they might seem a bit blunt with me, I'll think it's my fault, which usually ends up with me doing everything I can to make them feel better, but still really disliking myself. Now, I've mainly talked about the negative side of autism, I guess. So we're going to talk about the things I can do despite me having autism. I don't want people to think autism is a bad thing. There are some bits which are a struggle to deal with, but there are also like cool things. Kind of like a superpower, I kind of think. I can still have fun with my friends and stay active. My best friend, Sabine, you've heard her name so many times on this channel. Every single day we send each other voice messages, voice chats on Snapchat, and it's the best thing ever. We often go into too much information, but she is my all-time best friend, and we can still socialise, and she has never ever once discriminated me or made me feel bad about how I am being an autistic person. She is a wonderful friend, and I would say that's probably the number one thing you should do, is surround yourself with people that love you for who you are. In regards to staying active, I do sometimes get overwhelmed when I'm in public with people. It's whether when I'm in the shops or at the park or anything like that. I still push myself to go out for walks, to go out and talk to retail staff whenever I'm shopping, or just going out for a run or doing dance. Like, it helps greatly and it's actually a lot of fun. So don't isolate yourself, it doesn't do you any favours, just try your best. It might seem like a small thing, but in reality it is actually quite a big thing for people who are neurodiverse. I can still help people, whether that's my friends, loved ones, my family, even random strangers. I don't mind helping people. I do like doing charity work, I love doing charity work, and helping people who are in need. So I can still do that, and if anything, that's one thing that I definitely hyperfixate on, is I need to be able to help people. And I want to do that with my YouTube channel, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like life isn't worth living if I can't help people. Which, when I've just worded it like that, it does sound morbid, but making someone smile or putting a smile on someone's face instantly makes my day better. And yeah, it just feels nice, you know? This one might sound a bit obvious, but even though I'm autistic, I could still enjoy and talk about the things I'm passionate about, which to some people might sound obvious or a dumb thing to say, but it's very common with autistic people, or an autistic characteristic is that we'll talk about something we're really passionate about very expressively. Whenever I do, so when I talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, because it's my all-time favourite game, I start stimming. Which, for people who don't know what stimming is, it's just like repetitive movements, repetitive talking, or like repetitive phrases you say when you're expressing something quite extreme. It could be excitement, happiness, sadness, anger. It's for any type of emotion. And for people who don't know what that is, it might look a bit strange. Which leads me back to my point of masking. I definitely did that at the start of my autism, or even before I was diagnosed with autism, and especially when I was a teenager. And anyone with autism can mask. Quite a few people do. Girls do it slightly more, but boys still can. And they might find it really difficult to be themselves around other people, or they constantly want to people please. So I can still thankfully do that, and I do that a lot more, and it does come with growing up. You just care less, you know? So now all of that's out of the way, I'm going to quickly talk about some helpful tips or some advice which I wish someone told me right at the start of being diagnosed with autism, and I kind of figured out on the way. So feel free to use these. Let me know if these actually help you down in the comments below. Number 1, don't be ashamed of stimming. I was at that stage when I first got diagnosed, and even before I was stimming, before I even had my diagnosis, and quite a few people would look at me weirdly and would always ask, what on earth am I doing? It's just your way of expressing a strong emotion you are feeling, so don't feel ashamed about it at all. It is perfectly normal. Next is make sure you have a safe phrase. So whenever I have a panic attack or I'm getting really overwhelmed, I say to myself, my name is Molly, I am 24 years old and I love my partner and I am safe. It is familiarising yourself with things that you already know and things that you can focus on, and usually that calms me down. So yeah. Find a good fidget toy. Again, this is a grounding technique if you're easily distracted, or when I get distracted, a fidget toy helps me. If I'm getting upset, it helps calm me down, and that's when I say my safe phrase, and it just helps you recover a lot more easily. Ones that I've currently got, I did get from TikTok shop, from AC Sensory Toys, and they are very cute and stylish, so you can be autistic and be stylish at the same time. Sorry. I know, I missed one. Create a safe space. You don't necessarily have to create one, but find a place where you could just chill, whether that's a study, your bedroom, the park, the beach. If you don't necessarily have a space, make one in your room. In my current flat, I have a study, and basically me and my partner split it in half. So his side and my side's very plant-based, cottagecore, and usually if I get overwhelmed, that's where I'm going. I draw, I paint, do clay work, I read, I do lots of things in that safe space, and that automatically calms me down. And just, again, it's a grounding technique, so I would recommend having a safe space. Next one is kind of self-explanatory, but not at the same time. Find a therapist you connect with and get on with. Quite a few people will stay with a therapist they don't actually like or don't feel as comfortable with, so they're not as open with them. I definitely did that with my first therapist and a few therapists after that person. Probably throughout my whole journey through mental health, I have had 2 very good psychiatrists. One was when I was 17, the other one was very recently. My last one, she was absolutely amazing, and she's the one that helped me get to my diagnosis of autism. And rather than her viewing my autism as like a disability, she pushed me to do things out of my comfort zone, or things that I really wanted to do but I shied away from. She was so supportive, so lovely, and I know people have a different view on medication. I'm very hesitant towards medication or mental health medication. I have had it before and it just hasn't agreed with me. Rather than her going to that first, which doctors do often do that, she tried other forms of therapy, other forms of coping mechanisms, and I did get better, or I dealt with things a lot better. I still have some days where I'm not as good, but I'm doing a lot better than what I did before, so that's an improvement. My last point, and probably the most important point, is make sure you're surrounding yourself with people that love and care for you, for who you are, and support you no matter what. In previous friendships, I definitely masked how I was feeling, and I would do everything to please that person, especially when I was a teenager. Don't do that. It's not worth your life. It's not worth wasting your life doing that, especially if that person doesn't actually care for you. Same goes for if you're in a relationship. If they're not supporting you through this, if they're not even listening to how you're feeling, don't stay in that relationship. I've been there and it sucks. Probably masked throughout the whole previous relationship I was in, and it was draining and it's not worth it. the friends, my family, my current partner are all amazing people and have supported me no matter what and through everything that I've gone through. My partner has done so much for me, and whenever I get overwhelmed, he is the first one there. Same with my best friend, she's the first one there. My family as well have my back and always have done. So make sure you do have someone there for you that loves you and cares for you for who you are. Because not only will it make your mental health a lot better in the future, you deserve it. You deserve kindness, you deserve love. It is not your fault. You're doing amazing. And yeah, you're doing good. I hope you guys find this video helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed. Videos will be coming out in the future. I'm sorry I disappeared, but I am back. And yeah, let me know if you actually enjoyed me doing digital art in this video. I'll probably be sticking mainly to YouTube Shorts and maybe doing the odd occasional digital art videos. But yeah, it was something new to try out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!